Here's the puzzling question that you might frequently see on the test. The sum of all the ages of 4 family members is 85. What would be the sum of their ages together in 5 years? And you're presented with 4 different choices. Choice A, 90. Choice B, 95. Choice C, 100. And choice D, 105. Do you see the answer? Give yourself 20 to 30 seconds to see if you can come up with the solution. Ready or not, I'm moving forward to get to the correct solution together. What's interesting about this problem is that it is simpler than you think. So the key here is not to overthink the problem. There are 4 family members, and sum of their ages is 85. And in 5 years, each family member will be 5 years older. So incremental age increase for all family members can be calculated as 4 family members multiplied by 5 years equals 20 years. So sum of the ages of all family members in 5 years can be calculated as 85, which is original sum, plus 20, which is the incremental age increase, and would be equal to 105. So the correct choice here is choice D, 105. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar puzzles on the test. And now, here's the question for you to practice. You're presented with triangle, which is broken down into 3 equal horizontal parts. On the left side of the triangle, you see numbers 8, 4, and 3 if you go from the bottom to the top. And on the right side of the triangles, you see numbers 2, 6, and 1 number is missing. You need to select missing number from 4 different choices. Choice A, 6. Choice B, 10. Choice C, 7. And choice D, 2. Give yourself a little bit of time to see if you can come up with the solution. If you figured out the solution, please make sure to post your answer in the comment section of this video so I can give you my feedback. Thanks for participating and good luck! Here's the question, which seems easy but has some tricky elements to it. You need to calculate the current age of Shyla. If the ratio of ages between Mira and Shyla is 5 to 4, after 3 years, their age ratio changes and becomes 11 to 9. You need to calculate the current age of Shyla. And you have 4 different choices. Choice A, 23 years. Choice B, 24 years. Choice C, 25 years. And choice D, 26 years. Give yourself a little bit of time, maybe pause this video to see if you can come up with the solution on your own. Ready or not, I am going to share with you my solution. But if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to share it in comments. To solve it, we need to define a variable x, which would be a ratio between Mira's and Shyla's current age. If that's the case, then the current age of Mira will be 5x, and the current age of Shyla will be 4x, which means that we can build an equation and calculate their ratio of ages after 3 years. In this equation, we will have 5x plus 3 divided by 4x plus 3, which would be equal to 11/9. After simplification, we will have 9 multiplied in parentheses 5x plus 3 equal 11 multiplied in parentheses 4x plus 3, which means that the x will be equal 33 minus 27, which would be equal to 6. So to calculate present age of Shyla, we need to multiply 6 by 4, which was her ratio in initial equation for the current age, which would be equal to 24. So the correct answer is choice B, 24 years old. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to solve similar problems on the test. And as usual, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to share in comments so we can all learn. Here's an interesting question which validates how well you do planning of your day-to-day work. Mary spends 1/3 of her 24-hour day at work. Meetings take 1/4 of her workday. How many hours does she spend in meetings? You have 4 different choices. Choice A, 1 hour and 30 minutes. Choice B, 2 hours. Choice C, 2 hours and 30 minutes. And choice D, 3 hours. Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds, maybe a bit longer, depending how well you typically solve these types of problems. Ready or not, let's go ahead and solve this challenge together. As you might be well aware, full day has 24 hours. Mary's working hours are very typical. They represent 1/3 of the full day, which is 8 hours, and we calculate it by multiplying 24 by 1/3, or actually dividing 24 by 3. Meetings take 1/4 of her workday. So to calculate how much time she spends in meetings, we need to multiply 8 hours by 1/4, and the result is 2 hours. So the correct answer is choice B, 2 hours. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems in the test. Here's the question for you to practice. If you calculate the answer to this question, please make sure to post it in the comment section of this video. You need to calculate missing number, and you're presented with 3 triangles. Each triangle has numbers in the corners as well as in the middle. First triangle has number 18 on the top, numbers 4 and 2 at the bottom, and number 3 in the middle. Second triangle has number 56 on the top, numbers 6 and 1 at the bottom, and number 8 in the middle. Third triangle has number 104 on the top, number 8 in the middle, number 5 in the bottom left corner, and number in the bottom right corner is missing. Your choices are 9, 10, 11, and 12. If you can calculate the answer, please make sure to post it in the comment section of this video. Thanks for participating and good luck. Here's the question where you need to calculate percentage of the high-volume customers, which tests your knowledge of charts and graphs. The following figure shows the tendencies to spend of visitors at the online store in Q1. Assume that in the next quarter, low-volume customers will double their purchases, while the medium-volume customers will reduce their spending by half, and high-volume customers will keep the same. What would be the percentage of high-volume customers in Q2? There are 4 different choices. Choice A, 53%, choice B, 55%, choice C, 57%, and then choice D, 59%. Do you see the answer? See if you can pause this video to give yourself a little bit of time, and maybe use a piece of paper and calculator, unless you can do all the calculations in your head. Ready or not, I am going to move forward and explain to you my version of the solution. And obviously, if you see a better way of solving this challenge, please make sure to share in comments. One of the easiest ways to solve it is to correlate percentage spending to the actual numbers. For example, we have 57%, 24%, and 19%. We can do the math and create an equation of 57 plus 24 plus 19 would be equal 100. Now, in the next step, we can calculate total planned spending in Q2. 57 for high-volume customers will remain the same, but we know that the medium-volume customers will spend the half, and half of 24 is 12. And then we know that the low-volume customers are planning to double their spending, which would be equal 19 multiplied by 2 as 38. So the new equation will be 57 plus 12 plus 38, which would be equal 107. To calculate Q2 percentage spent for high-volume customers, we need to divide 57 by 107 and multiply it by 100%. So the new percentage value is 53.27%, which matches closest the choice A. So the correct answer here is choice A, 53%. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Do you have a faster way to solve it? Please make sure to post your solution in comments. And if you're looking for more questions to practice for the test, please make sure to check the description of this video for additional resources. A lot of you are interested and ask me, how can I help others? One of the ways you can help other people is by sharing the latest questions you see as part of the assessment test. And when you share, please make sure to also include how you answered them. Please share the question you recently encountered in the comment section of this video. And if you know the answers, please share them as well. And now let's continue and get you ready for the test. Here's a very interesting question you frequently see on the test. You're presented with 3 triangles. Each of the corners of each triangle has numbers. For example, first triangle has number 18 on the top, numbers 4 and 2 at the bottom, and number 3 in the middle. Second triangle has numbers 56, 6 and 1, and number 8 in the middle. Third triangle has number 104 on the top, number 8 in the middle, number 5 in the bottom left corner, and one missing number in the bottom right corner. You need to calculate the missing number. You have 4 different choices. Choice A, 9, choice B, 10, choice C, 11, and choice D, 12. Do you see the answer? Give yourself a little bit of time to make sure you can come up with the solution. Ready or not, I am going to move forward so we can solve this problem together. As usual, my advice to you, always look for patterns. And in this particular problem, the pattern is that the top number divided by the sum of the bottom 2 numbers is equal the middle number. Let's look at the example. For example, 18 divided in parentheses 4 plus 2 would be an equivalent of 18 divided by 6 and would result in 3. 56 divided by the sum of 6 and 1 would be an equivalent of 56 divided by 7 and would equal 8. Which means that we can build a formula. And our formula will have 104 on the left divided the value in parentheses 3 plus question mark would be equal to 8, which means that the question mark would be equal 104 divided by 8 minus 3, which would be an equivalent of 13 minus 3, which would be equal to 10. So the question mark equals to 10, and the correct answer is choice B, 10. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Here's the practice question for you. Kiara walks at the constant speed of 5 miles per hour. Olivia starts walking at the same time as Kiara, but starts 4 miles behind her and walks at the constant speed of 8 miles per hour. How long will it take Kiara to catch up with Olivia? And you have 4 different choices. Choice A, 50 minutes. Choice B, 60 minutes. Choice C, 70 minutes. And then choice D, 18 minutes. Please give yourself a little bit of time to see if you can come up with the solution. The answer to this problem is not obvious, but if you came up with the solution, please make sure to post it in the comment section of this video so I can give you my feedback. Thanks for participating and good luck. Here's an interesting question you may need to know not just for the test, but also if you're trying to rent the house. 5 college students together rented a house. One of them decided to move out earlier, and now their rent would be $260 higher for each remaining tenant. What is the cost of the total rent, considering the rent is shared equally among students? And you're presented with 4 different choices. Choice A, $5,200. Choice B, $3,120. Choice C, $2,600. And choice D, $2,340. Give yourself 20 to 30 seconds. Maybe pause this video to see if you can come up with the answer on your own. Let's go ahead and solve this challenge together. One of the easiest ways to solve this challenge is to create a formula. Let's start by defining a variable, and we will define this variable as S, which would represent an initial split rent for 5 students. So, using this formula, we can calculate the total house rent as 5 multiplied by S, which means that after 1 student left, the total house rent could also be calculated as 4 multiplied and then the value in parentheses S plus $260. Using both approaches, we can create an expression. 5 multiplied by S equals 4 multiplied and then the value in parentheses S plus $260. Once we simplify it, we'll get to the equation 5S minus 4S equals $1,040, which means that the S equals $1,040, which represents initial 1 student rent. To calculate total house rent, we need to multiply 5 by $1,040 and the result will be $5,200. So the answer is choice A, $5,200. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar. One of the most frequent questions I get is to provide the best techniques to get prepared and pass the test. We put together a list of resources that might be helpful for you in the description section of this video. Obviously, taking sample tests and reviewing questions and answers is a must. But some less known ways to improve might be to take dietary supplements, sign up for free trials with educational training vendors, and even use special supplements to improve your brain function and concentration. I put links to our trusted partners for the products I use in the description section of this video. Some links might be affiliate, which means that I will get paid a small fee without increasing costs to you. Make sure to check them out. And one request for you. If you know any other helpful resource to help you get ready and pass the test, feel free to share it in comments so we could all learn and get better prepared. And now let's continue and get you ready for the test. Here's an interesting question we frequently see on the test. Kiara walks at the constant speed of 5 miles per hour. Olivia starts walking at the same time as Kiara, but starts 4 miles behind her and walks at a constant speed of 8 miles per hour. How long will it take for Kiara to catch up with Olivia? You're presented with 4 different choices. Choice A, 50 minutes. Choice B, 60 minutes. Choice C, 70 minutes. And choice D, 80 minutes. Do you see the answer? Give yourself a little bit of time and think about all possible combinations. Ready or not, let's move forward and get to the correct solution together. One important consideration to help you solve this challenge is that the speed for both Kiara and Olivia is presented in miles per hour, but answers are in minutes. So at some point we would need to make a conversion. Another important point is that both Kiara and Olivia will walk the same time, and we can put it as X in hours before catching up, because they started at the same time. In our solution, X will be the time in hours when they will catch up and meet. To solve this challenge, we need to build an equation. 5x plus 4 equals 8x. 8x represents how much Olivia will walk, and 5x plus 4 is representing how much Kiara can walk. And the starting point for this will be starting point of where Olivia starts, since Olivia starts 4 miles behind. So if we simplify this equation, 4 will be equal to 3x, and x will be equal 4/3 or 1 1/3 of an hour. And now is the time to do the conversion. 1 hour equals 60 minutes. 60 multiplied by 4/3 equals 60 plus 20 equals 80 minutes. So the correct answer here is choice D, 80 minutes. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. And here is the practice question for you. You're presented with 3 full expressions, and you need to calculate missing number in the 4th expression. Here are 3 full expressions. 18 by 3 equals 27. 12 by 4 equals 12. 22 by 8 equals 32. And you need to calculate the result of 12 multiplied by 9. You have 4 different choices. Choice A, 34. Choice B, 36. Choice C, 38. And choice D, 40. Do you see the answer? Give yourself a little bit of time because the answer may not be obvious. I'm going to give you a quick hint. Do you know why it's always 2-digit number multiplied by 1-digit number? The correct answer here is choice B, 36. If you figured it out, please make sure to post your solution in comments. Here's the question you might frequently encounter on the test. John's monthly spending is $1,500. 40% of his spending goes toward utilities, and the amount that he spends on heating and electricity is 15% more than what he spends on utilities. How much does John spend on things besides heating, electricity, and utilities? You're presented with 4 different choices. Choice A, $210. Choice B, $220. Choice C, $230. And choice D, $240. Do you see the answer? Please feel free to pause this video and think how you can calculate the amount, because the answer may not be obvious. Ready or not, I am going to move forward and teach you how to do calculations so we can get to the correct solution together. Let's first look at the factual information. Total spending is $1,500, and spending categories that we've learned about are utilities, heating and electricities, as well as others. Because there are 3 spending categories, let's calculate the values in each one based on the data that we have. To calculate the amount spent on utilities, we need to multiply 1,500 by 0.4, and the end result of this is $600. Heating and electricity bill is 15% more than utility spending. So to calculate heating and electricity, we need to multiply 600 by 1.15, and the end result of this would be $690. To calculate utility, heating and electricity spending together, we need to add 600 and $690. And the end result of this calculation will be $1,290. So the other spending category would be calculated as a subtraction of $1,290 from $1,500 and would be equal of $210. So the correct answer here is choice A, $210. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. And now I have a practice question for you. You need to determine which item comes next in the sequence. You're presented with 3 large squares. Each large square contains 9 small squares inside, and small squares are of a different color. And the 4th square is missing, and you have 4 different choices to choose from. Choices A, B, C, and D. Do you see the answer? Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds to see if you can come up with the solution. And make sure to post your solution and your rationale in the description section of this video. This way I can give you my feedback. Thanks for participating and good luck. Here's an interesting problem from the real test. You're presented with 3 full expressions. 18 by 3 equals 27. 12 by 4 equals 12. 22 multiplied by 8 equals 32. And you need to calculate missing number in the expression 12 multiplied by 9. You have 4 different choices. Choice A, 34. Choice B, 36. Choice C, 38. And choice D, 40. Do you see the answer? Give yourself a little bit of time as the answer may not be obvious. But in the end, I'm pretty sure you will figure it out. I'm gonna give you a quick hint. Take a look and see why there are 2-digit number multiplied by 1-digit number. How can you make it work in your advantage? Let's go ahead, reveal the answer, and get to the correct solution together. Even though mathematically our sample expressions are not correct, for example 18 by 3 is not equal 27, if you multiply each digit separately and add results together, you will get to the result you need. For example, 18 by 3 should be processed as 1 multiplied by 3 in parentheses plus 8 multiplied by 3 in parentheses, which would be equal 3 plus 24 and which would be equal to 27. In a similar way, 12 multiplied by 4 can be calculated as a result of 1 multiplied by 4 in parentheses plus 2 multiplied by 4 in parentheses would be equal 4 plus 8 and would be equal to 12. And in very similar way, 22 multiplied by 8 would be a result of 2 multiplied by 8 in parentheses plus 2 multiplied by 8 in parentheses, which would be 16 plus 16, which would be equal to 32. So to calculate the answer of 13 multiplied by 9, we would need to multiply 1 by 9 in parentheses and add to 3 by 9 in parentheses, which would be sum of 9 and 27, and the end result would be equal to 36. So the correct answer here is choice B, 36. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. A lot of people ask, how can I help on this channel? One of the best ways to help is to help other people answer the questions that they're getting. If you know the answer to the question you see in comments, please post the answer in the comment section of this video. And now let's continue and get you ready for the test. Here's a very interesting question we frequently see on the test. A 5 by 5 by 5 cube has its side's length increased by 40%. As a result of these changes, by what percentage has Cube's total volume increased? You're presented with 4 different choices. Choice A, 274%. Choice B, 325%. Choice C, 357%. And choice D, 379%. Do you see the answer? Give yourself a little bit of time because the answer to this question may not be obvious. Hopefully you've nailed it, but let's move forward and I'll explain you how I solved this problem so we can get to the correct solution together. First thing we're going to do is calculate original's cube volume. 5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5 is equals 125. Now let's increase the side of the cube by 40%. 5 multiplied by 1.4 equals 7, which means that the new cube's volume would be calculated as 7 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 7, and the end result will be 343. The volume change in percentages then can be calculated as new volume 343 divided by old volume 125 and multiplied by 100%. The end result of this calculation is 274.4%. So the correct choice here is choice A, 274%. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Here's an interesting question which tests your understanding of money management as well as accounting. Sarah has twice as much money as Nicole does. After Sarah loans $500 to Nicole, she will have 1 times as much as Nicole does. How much money did Nicole have originally? And you're presented with 4 different choices. Choice A, $1,000. Choice B, $1,500. Choice C, $1,800. And choice D, $2,500. Can you calculate the answer? Give yourself 20 to 30 seconds. Maybe pause this video and give yourself as much time as you need. Let's go ahead and move forward to get to the correct solution together. The best way to solve this challenge is to assign a variable to what Nicole had originally. If we assume that Nicole had originally N dollars, then Sarah will have twice as much, meaning 2 multiplied by N, or 2N. That means that after the transaction, when Nicole received additional money from Sarah, Nicole had N plus $500 and Sarah had 2N minus $500. Based on this information, we can build an expression. 2N minus $500 equals 1.5 multiplied in parentheses N plus $500. Let's go ahead and simplify this expression. We will get to the result of 2N minus $500 equals 1.5N plus $750, which means that 0.5N equals $1,250. After the calculation, we can see that N equals $2,500, which means Nicole originally had $2,500. So the correct choice here is choice D. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. I have a question for you. Have you considered subscribing to online training for everyone? We focus on helping you not just to get ready for assessment test, but using our materials, you can also improve your concentration, IQ, and brain power. And we're having a lot of fun along the way in this process. Thank you for considering, and now let's continue and get you ready for the test. Here's a cool question which you frequently see on the test. You're presented with 2 cubes. One cube has side length equal 1 unit, and second cube is a larger cube and it has side length equals 3 units. So the question is, how many small cubes can fit into the large cube? And you have 4 different choices. Choice A, 9. Choice B, 18. Choice C, 27. And choice D, 81. Do you know the answer? Give yourself a few moments to calculate it. Maybe 20 to 30 seconds. This is about as much time as you get in the real test. Ready or not? Let's go ahead and get to the correct solution together. To solve this challenge, you need to visually imagine how many small cubes can fit into one side of the larger cube. And the answer is that 3 small cubes can fit on each side of the large cube. And since cube is 3-dimensional, the number of small cubes that can fit into the large cube can be calculated using the formula 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3, which is equal 3 cube. That's where the word cube might be coming from, which equals 27. Since cube is 3-dimensional, the number of small cubes that can fit into the large cube can be calculated using the formula 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3 equals 3 cube equals 27. So the correct choice here is choice C, 27. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Thanks for watching. If you liked the content, please give us a like and consider subscribing. Thanks for all your endorsement, support, and patronage. For additional helpful information, please make sure to check out links in the description. For detailed list of available resources, I encourage you to check out resources page on our website, howtoanalyzedata.net/resources. If you know someone who would benefit from this content, please consider sharing the link. Please leave the feedback, corrections, or suggestions in comments. And all the best on your journey. I'll see you in my next video.